I think this little one's trying to intimidate them by looking at them, but they're just not looking back at it, so that they can't see this death stare that it's giving them. They couldn't really, the two hyenas that are here couldn't really give a hoot. And looks like the little one. I mean, if a cat could stare something down, that would be the look. And as only a cat can, it looks quite comfortable. You know how cats can find the way to flow their body over the most obtruse angles and ornaments and places and still be comfortable and still catch a nap. Ooh, getting a strong scent of this kill now, starting to ripen. I mean, it's been exposed to the heat of this humidity for a couple of days now, so it's starting. And the worst thing about this situation is, of course, being so smelly. It is not only attracting flies and things, but it's obviously going to attract more attention from other predators. So this is an interesting thing to see. It's something we might have to follow up with tomorrow. Scotty will come with Wendy tomorrow and hopefully follow up on this particular saga.
Morning. Morning. Morning.
You can move. I'll move.
No, it's fine.
No? Okay. Oh shit. Ja, fortfarande. Kom. Starting to get a bit of light in late afternoon light in the eye. Copy that, thanks. The problem, of course, being a cub is a cub can get impatient. A cub doesn't really have the patience of an adult, and it can get tired of things. I think that we had a question now from Arkansas, from Arkiet in Arkansas, is how can it survive without water up in the tree? Well, fortunately, with the kind of digestive system that's needed to slowly absorb all of the protein from a kill, there's also a certain amount of moisture that they do get from the blood from the meat. But under the circumstances, none of that really matters, because the cub's going to have to try and push it as long as it can. I said earlier, this is a standoff. It's a rather unique situation. She can't come closer to do anything about it. Now that there are two hyenas and possibly more later, the same thing might play out tomorrow. But eventually, something will have to give, and there's no knowing, there's no guessing, there's no idea of what that's going to be, other than to come and visit this every now and then and to keep track of it and to see what transpires. she knows that there's nothing really going to happen until something makes a move. One of the best things that could happen is some of that impala rots away and the pieces fall down and the hyena are satisfied enough that they take it away. But without another leopard feeding on it, without anything actually physically moving the carcass, it's not likely going anywhere. But anything like buffalo or lion or elephant or any other large mammal moving through here might change the situation considerably. So it's not as stale a stalemate as one might think. But as long as everybody keeps their place, nobody's going to get hurt. And I think the key is for everybody involved. No one wants a confrontation. Somebody just wants something to eat. And as far as the hyena are concerned, they don't care whether it's the impala or a baby leopard. They want one of them. Probably preferably the little leopard. I think we'll go back to shadow. Okay. No, it's cool. I'll just go around the side of you. Thanks, Morning. To be able to witness something like this. Despite the presence of the vehicle and the move, she's not too happy with us being so close. Maybe. So that's how it is. It's all about waiting for something to happen, because the hyena can't do anything. I mean, let's face it, this is the standoff. The hyena can't do anything. What they can do is they can try and chase Shadow away. They can sort of try and rush her, and then she'll run away a little bit or climb a tree, and then they'll retreat back here because they don't want to miss anything out over here. So they're reluctant to go anywhere but here. And she can't do anything, because as soon as she came near the tree, they'd chase her and they'd try and kill her. So as long as they keep their little distance like this, the only thing that can happen is for something to happen in the tree, unfortunately, and that's for that cub to get hungry sometime tonight, and hopefully it'll be long after the game drives have been here, and it'll be by the light of the stars and the moon. Well, it'll be a very late moon. And that some of the meat falls down and some of the situation is resolved, but at the moment, kind of a really difficult situation. Angle, actually, we can get a good glimpse of both leopard, and you can see the kill from this angle too. A little bit off to the side. It's not an easy tree for a leopard to leave a kill, because without any horizontal branches, it makes it a bit difficult for them to move around.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. What's your program called again?
WildEarth.
WildEarth, yeah.
Yes.
So
also,
log on to the net.
yeah. Also yeah. Through National Geographic Wild, Nat Geo Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild SafariLive it is. It's called WildSafariLive.com or WildEarth.tv. Do join us when you get back. You'll still be able to see the same, continue with this drama.
Yeah.
Huh? What about her? What about her? Huh? Yeah, okay. How was it away? See, it's like, sorry. Look at Shadow. Sorry about that, sorry about that, everybody. I'm dense. I'm not see-through. Yeah, she's not pleased with that little attempt at a joke either. Either. How come they're nervous because hyena can't really climb? Well, the thing is that if hyena get hold of them, they don't really have much of a defense against hyena. They are a fraction of the size of hyena. They're so much smaller. Geez, really, Morno? But you can see she's not really that nervous. She's actually she's quite comfortable being this close to them because she knows that she can outpace them up to a tree to get away from them. But she is not going to go anywhere without her cub. She's only here to be able to be with her cub and to give reassurance, and hopefully to warn the cub not to try and move around and not trying to climb down the tree. The hyena are not really bothered with her because they know that they'll run circles around her before they'll get her, and it's a waste of energy. So it's not so much that they're fairly safe from hyena because hyena can't climb. It's more a case of there's a certain amount of time they can spend in a tree, and they've got to be on the ground for a large portion of their time, and consequently that's when they're the most vulnerable, when they're on the ground and hyena are able to get them. The hyena will ignore her and go for the cub because it's smaller, it's slower, it's far more vulnerable. And I would say that even somewhat vindictive, they would actually rather eliminate the cub than settle for the carcass. There's such strong competition amongst the predators. One coming in. It's going to be an awkward night all around. Yeah, she's heard it coming. She could hear those footprints. She could hear those footsteps. So this is an interesting. We'll see what she does. Just going to slink away. It's a young hyena, fortunately. She's just going to try and avoid it. I don't think, well, who knows? Let's see what happens. There is a dead tree here. She can jump onto that fallen knobthorn if she needed. She's welcome to jump on the Land Rover, although the engine's probably a bit hot. But I think the hyena, being a youngster, will probably avoid her. She's hissing at it. Once again, probably a little bit too much to risk injury when there's no need to actually confront her at all. Being a young hyena, hyena's only coming to the adult, is coming to see what's around probably learnt about this earlier, last night sometime, and they've been sleeping elsewhere during the day, coming back to investigate. She's not a comfortable cat, but she's keeping her distance, showing her displeasure. Barely audible hiss. Jeffrey in Texas. One of those questions, Jeffrey. So I'm going to try and move, and it might be okay because we're not going too fast. I want to go back a little bit.